What's up guys, Void here, and today I'll be teaching you about Sheik. Everything from how to play, little tricks that I have personally, things that I see other Sheiks do, all the works. But most importantly, while this is a Sheik guide, I'll be teaching a lot of things not just relating to Sheik. So whether you want to learn how to play Sheik, learn how to play against Sheik, or just up your own game, make sure you watch most of the video. I'm sure you'll find something that will improve your own gameplay, you know? This video will be segmented into a few different parts, so check the description for the timestamps if you want to learn more about neutral, how to look cool, combos, or just watch the whole video if you want a full understanding of everything I'm going to explain. This guide is going to serve as the building blocks for your competitive Sheik, and if you need more, we're going to be releasing a lot more videos just like this. I genuinely had a lot of fun recording this, so I want to release more content like this. So help me, help you. Comment in the section below, let me know what kind of guides you guys would want, and I'll definitely think about it. And I'm excited to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace has helped with a lot of CLG and Smash content, specifically the Void guides, so I'm really excited that they helped me out with this video. If you guys could check them out, I'd love that, squarespace.com. Now let's get into the video. Now first things first, I want to go over why you should play Sheik, and I'll be talking a lot about this. Because, I mean, I've been playing Sheik for a few years, and Sheik in Ultimate is not necessarily the best character. Now, of course, the number one reason, to look cool. To look cool and to feel cool while looking cool. Sheik, in my opinion, is probably one of the most exciting characters to watch in ult, and while the damage output can be really low, you truly can tell when you're playing amazing. And I feel like that's probably the best reason to play Sheik. You know, some people may be like, yo, you want to cover some matchups, you want a character that has a good projectile. No, none of that. You just want to look cool, and I think that's definitely the number one reason to play Sheik. Or a lot of other people, they'll say, you know, I just really like Sheik. I just really want Sheik to work out. And I feel like those are the kinds of people where, dude, I got you. Like, I'll make sure I can do whatever I can to help improve your gameplay. Because at the end of the day, Sheik is a really cool character, and hope I can translate that to your guys' gameplay too. Now the real reason to play Sheik, she has some of the best frame data in the whole game. Her neutral is still top notch in this game, and her combo game, when you get to it, is insane. Albeit, it's really hard to execute these three things, which is one of the biggest cons of Sheik, is her raw difficulty. Playing Sheik at the same level as somebody else will take a lot of work, but once you put in the work, you'll get the results. Other than that, she really sucks versus small characters. If you're trying to pick up Sheik to fight like the Rats, Squirtle, Olimar, don't do it. Don't do it. There's two main objectives that Sheik has during neutral. One, of course, will be to get a forward air, as forward air is your biggest combo starter. Kind of everything breathes from forward air. You can get grab off forward air, you can get like forward air off forward air, you can get the works off forward air. But that's not necessarily, it's a byproduct of what you want. So what you really want as Sheik, since you have such amazing frame data, you want to be able to react to what your opponent is doing. And the best way to do that is playing around this range. If you play a little farther from this range, you can charge needles, which forces your opponent to run in. But eventually, you're going to want to force this range interaction, as you can slightly drift in to get a fair. This is a little good for dash attack, but mainly you can also drift back if you think your opponent's going to try to overshoot for you. As long as you always put yourself in a position to react to what your opponent's going to do, Sheik works out really well. She has pretty much a move to react to anything, as she's really fast, has really good aerials in all directions, and she has really good grounded tilts for catching an opponent when they're next to her. When it comes to approaching with Sheik, while you do have amazing frame data even on block, it's best to still play around this stage, and you'll essentially bait and punish an approach from this distance. If you go any farther, it kind of makes it where you really have to outplay your opponent. They might spot dodge, they might grab, they might have a really good out of shield option. And you can use Sheik's really good grounded frame data, but her tilts aren't the best move in this game. Sounds crazy, but Sheik's tilts, you generally don't want to use them in this game. The best plus about approaching with Sheik, she gets so much off of an approaching fair that it's kind of not, like it's not okay. The amount that you can get from getting a really close range combo is insane, but it's a lot safer to play from this distance as Sheik has a really good dash back animation. Makes it to where it's a little harder for people to hit her. You see how she just crouches really low, majority of her body has already left the area. Just thanks to her good dash back and being able to play very well from this range as well with needles and a pretty good dash attack, makes it to where if you play from this range, you have the option of going in, out, up, down. You can honestly go wherever you want as long as you stay around this range. A little farther, you're kind of stuck on needling, which is really good in some matchups. Pretty sure needle still hits from here, yeah. But once you get full needles, you want to slowly work your way to this like little 2 to 3 characters away. Because once you're here, you can react, you can do everything that Sheik wants to do. A big problem with playing at this range is your opponent can also do a lot of really bursty options, like let's say like an approaching fair from like another Sheik, a dash grab. They can do a lot of stuff like that, but you can always just scout it out. Just like jump out, jump in. You don't have to commit to anything because your frame data is so good. Your opponent will generally have to swing first. Now, why is that good? You make your opponent want to wait for your move, and even if they try to wait, your frame data is so good that once your opponent stops swinging first, you can start being the person on the aggressive and start attacking them. And you kind of force it to being this, oh, am I going to swing first with my amazing frame data, or are you going to swing first to try to trade with my move? That's one of Sheik's biggest disadvantages, people trading with her moves, as of course you guys all know this, Sheik does not have very high damage per hit. So you want to force your opponent to think, am I attacking first or am I attacking second? Because Sheik is very good at attacking second, but your opponent will want to attack at the same time. So just keep mixing it up. Always mix things up with Sheik. Ledge trapping with Sheik is pretty hard because you have to react to pretty much every option, but that's ledge trapping in the first place. But the thing about Sheik is she has the tools to react to ledge trapping. Even if you miss your ledge trap, you can generally just retreat and make it so you don't really lose any type of stage control, which I think is definitely the best part about Sheik. If somebody rolls past you, it's the worst case, but if you want, you just ledge trap from roll distance, give up the ledge jump, which is pretty okay as you have fair to cover ledge jump regardless, and make sure you keep your ledge trapping pretty vanilla, at least until kill percent. One thing that makes Sheik's ledge trapping so good is the rate of which she can throw out moves, and it makes it so that your opponent will never really be able to react to what you're doing. If you throw out a fair and backdash, your opponent will not be able to punish you. As long as you time it pretty well, Like, as long as you keep stage control, a good thing, once you get your opponent on the ledge, you can probably get full needles. Reset neutral, have full needles for when you go back, and just put them back on the ledge. Another thing about ledge trapping too, if your opponent waits too long, you can snipe them with kill confirms. Most of them coming off of down tilt, as down tilt up smash has been one of Sheik's best confirms since Smash 4. But there's a lot of newer things that Sheik can do in this game when it comes to kill confirms, and I'll go a little more in depth in the kill confirm section. But specifically for ledge trapping, there's 2 really good things that you can do. One, of course, will be daring people. It's a very sudden option. It's really easy to set up. As you saw earlier, I rolled to set it up. But if you're afraid that the roll is a little too obvious, you can dash to the ledge and pivot down air. Now the second option, which is a little less common, will be up air and a smash attack. Now up air is a pretty good option to catch a ledge jump. The angle at which it catches people is just insane. And doing up air and a smash attacks isn't really too hard. It gives you a lot of time to react. There's essentially limitless potential. If you do get the up air, you got the stock. Now the last thing, something I don't really like, but Mr. R was really good at in Smash 4, also comes off of reading a ledge jump. Up smashing somebody's ledge jump. Up smashing somebody's ledge jump is actually the hardest read that she could do when it comes to ledge trapping, but you get the stock really early. It's amazing. Nothing much to really say about that besides that, you know? Now before I go into the combos and conversions section, there's a part that I personally want to do, and it's common Sheik mistakes that I see in Smash Ultimate. This will pertain right now mainly to neutral options, as I feel a lot of people will switch a lot of their habits after watching this video, but there are some very small things that I can point out that will up your Sheik play, and I feel like I can't make this video without doing this. So here's some common mistakes that I see Sheiks make, and hopefully this will help you tighten up your play. The first thing is it's this thing I call the Smash 4 fair. Now the Smash 4 fair looks a lot like this. While this isn't necessarily a bad fair, as I was explaining, this kind of fair is really good, you miss a lot of opportunities in terms of timing and in terms of combos. If you do a fair up here, you're kind of forced to fast fall it, right? So you lose a lot of potential air drift. While you keep your spacing, you lose a lot of mix-up timing. And the reason why I call this the Smash 4 fair is in Ultimate, Sheik's forward air actually has significantly less landing lag. So even if you do a forward air right next to the ground, you can kind of convert about the same way that you can convert if you did a forward air like up here, right? When it comes to specific combos, I feel like the Smash 4 fair is a lot better, as it's really hard to delay your fair all the way to the ground in a combo. But in terms of neutral, doing a fair as close to the ground as you can is a big deal in the game where there's parrying. That's another main thing. Sheik can mix up parry timing really well. So if you understand, like, a good difference is nairing up here, right? Nairing up here and slow falling, and then nairing up here and fast falling. There's a really big timing difference, and you can use those timing differences to your advantage. And if you're stuck only using Smash 4 fair, then you're not going to be able to bring out the best in Sheik. Another thing that I see, for continuity's sake, I'll call this the Smash 4 nair. Now the Smash 4 nair, again, it's not the worst thing in the world, as this is kind of the opposite of the ult fair, right? Where ult fair, you want to be able to delay as much as you can. The Smash 4 nair, actually, it's in the same boat where the landing lag isn't as bad as you would think. In Smash 4, if you fast fell Sheik's nair, you wouldn't be able to auto cancel it, which meant you would get 10 more frames of lag. It would be a lot worse overall. But in ult, Sheik's nair also received significant landing lag buffs. So what that means is instead of full drifting into somebody, you can always fast fall it to make sure you can throw out another move. And this makes the most sense when it comes into combos. I don't know if you guys have seen it that much, but I'll pretty much do stuff like that, where you do fair into nair. And in Smash 4, you could also do it, but a lot of people do like fair, nair, and just like float with it. But if you do a rising nair, make sure to fast fall it, especially if you hit somebody, unless the situation is you're trying to drift back, right? If you want to just hard drift back, but the plus of fast falling it, it gives you more action time. You can mainly just do more stuff instead of being stuck on nair. That's the main difference when it comes to like doing a nair like that, right? I can get nair jab there, but if I don't fast fall it, there's absolutely no way I'm getting nair jab. So remember, if you nair, you don't always have to just float with it. Doing a nair fast fall is a very big deal when it comes to Sheik's combo game. Now the last mistake that I see Sheik's doing in this game, the big one that I want to point out for all of you, Sheik's ground game is not nearly as good as you think. And what I mean by this is this move right here, F tilt, stop using this move in neutral. If you're using F tilt in neutral, you can get really big combos off of it, but it's pretty laggy. Earlier when I was mentioning you want to play around this like 3 character, this 2 to 3 right here, a little past 2 into 3, F tilt, you have to play a little closer, right? And of course, there's a lot of mix-ups with F tilt. Like if you do like an empty hop into an F tilt, that's good. But like doing neutral with F tilt is not the play. If you have to do this, you have to walk from the 2 to 3 to like the 1 to 2 or like the 0 to 1, and it doesn't work out too well. Like you essentially, if you ever put yourself this close to your opponent outside of, let's say, a mix-up, you're just asking for your opponent to be able to stuff you out. You ruin your mobility because you're too close. You ruin your frame data because you pretty much just give it one shot. Like F tilt is your final shot. Once you do this, you give up your turn if you miss, and you get a lot if you hit it. So the difference of that, of course, you know, Sheik has like a lot of things off F tilt, right? Like if I raise the percent a little higher, you can get like F tilt up air loops, right? But the thing is, you can get that off of something that's not F tilt. Like right there, you can do like nair into it, right? Even at lower percents, if you want to try to get F tilt in a combo, you can get like fair. You can get like fair, F tilt, nair, F tilt, stuff like that. But when it comes to starting things with F tilt, I feel like that's where the problem lies. If you want to start something with F tilt at a really low percent or like mid percent, it's generally not worth it, as going for fair keeps you at a safer distance. You have like less lag on your fair. F tilt seems like a fast move, and don't get me wrong, it is. But on shield, F tilt, generally you don't get much done. You can F tilt, most of your opponents can punish it. If I'm not mistaken, it's minus 15. Yeah, it's minus 15. So most characters will be able to unshield jab it, which is pretty insane when you think about how slippery Sheik is. So those would be the 3 common things I would say for Sheiks. Make sure to fast fall your nairs. Don't be stuck doing the smash 4 fair. And those are kind of the 3 common mistakes that I see Sheiks make. Being stuck using smash 4 fair, make sure to experiment with all the different kinds of fairs. Even like rising fair is really good, whether you want to call it a jump or just like combo off of it like that. Make sure you're not stuck doing smash 4 nairs. Fast falling nair is a really good thing. Even like doing a nair in the middle of the air and then fast falling is a really good thing. It's something that you need to do for combos. And don't use F tilt in neutral. Like, again, while I'm saying don't use F tilt as like your main neutral tool. There's a lot of other neutral tools that you can use, and F tilt does have its place, especially like baiting an aerial into F tilt if you know you condition your opponent to parry, right? But don't get stuck in these little ruts, you know? There's a lot more to Sheik than meets the eye. Next up is the combos and the conversions. Now this is one of the most important part of Sheik's toolkit, as you need to both know the guaranteed combos and when the combos become a little more difficult. You can definitely hit the more difficult combos, but you always have the option to choose to reset your opponent. By reset, I mean go for one read, and if you get it correctly, completely cash out, go into a much stronger combo, finishing your combo that should have been maybe 20% with an additional 20 to 30 more percent. Like a 40 to 50% combo is something that she can definitely do, as long as you know, 1, how strong your combos are and where you want to stop it, and 2, what combo you want to do afterwards. And I'm going to be teaching you both of those in this section. Now the first thing we're going to start with is forward throw to bouncing fish. Now I get asked about this a lot. Seems like not too many people understand what's going on, but essentially bouncing fish has a way to kick quicker. If your opponent DIs in or out, you'll want to do the quicker version of the bouncing fish. As you saw, it wasn't comboing from 0 to 10%. However, if you move your opponent to around 10%, forward throw bouncing fish will start registering as a combo, so you can practice it on your own. Now, if you realize your opponent kind of isn't DIing like super far away, or you have a lot of stage to work with, you can start doing forward throw into fair strings. Now, the pro to this is it carries your opponent practically across the whole stage. Most of it is true as long as you fast fall pretty on time. You want to jump, hit the forward air, then fast fall pretty much as soon as you can. That way your fairs will carry your opponent across the stage. Now if you realize your opponent's DIing in, you can start doing forward throw and a fair into up air to kind of continue the combo. It's really hard to get simply fair into one up air drag down or even no fair into drag down, but this is honestly one of Sheik's best confirms, as up air leads to a lot of damage, even a regrab, which you can honestly get 40% or so. It's really good. Next up, we have forward tilt. Forward tilt as a move pops your opponent up slightly above Sheik at like a 45-degree angle, and that angle is everything Sheik wants and needs. Down tilt will kind of do the same thing if you hit the tip, but F tilt is a lot more reliable when it comes to combos. Now, as I talked about before, F tilt on its own is not necessarily the best play. However, if you can use forward air to combo into F tilt, you can extend your combo very massively from there. Now, whether you decide to keep looping or go into Nair and other combos or up smash is up to you. As long as you react to the DI, make sure you punish your opponent hard if they DI inwards. Of course, outside of loops, you can simply chain Sheik's up air together, getting you a really big like juggle combo, and just drag down and continue your combo from there. Next up will be Sheik's forward air. Sheik's forward air is the bread and butter of her whole combo kit. Combos in a grab, makes it so you can not have to fish for the grab on its own. Combos in a dash attack, jab, combos in a tilt. It really combos into everything. And getting good with forward air is the big decider between how good of a Sheik you are and how good of a Sheik you aren't. Now, the main thing you want to learn with forward air is forward air into bouncing fish. Make sure you adjust your bouncing fish on whether they DI inwards or outwards, as you'll need to either do the farther bouncing fish or the shorter bouncing fish to compensate. And it helps if you do the kick a little earlier. Make sure you do a quick kicking bouncing fish. This combo will start as soon as Sheik's forward air starts putting your opponent into tumble into later percents, but at later percents it can be really hard to get it if your opponent DIs away, so be wary of that. Using this forward air kind of bait into down tilt trick as well, you can go from down tilt into up smash at even earlier percents than the up air drag down combo. And this confirm works great with no DI. It's one of Sheik's strongest confirms. Using platforms, you can actually combine both of these using down tilt into up air drag down up smash to get a really good kill confirm on opponents with platform stages. Most of the drag down stuff works better with rage, so don't be afraid of trying it if you have a lot of rage. It'll actually work a lot better. Next up is down tilt into smash attacks. Down tilt isn't too great as a standalone combo move until later percents where you can actually use down tilt as your most reliable kill confirm, as long as you can combo it into the drag down up air into a smash attack, which is really hard both in game and out of game, just practicing it. So don't sweat it if you can't get it initially. Just make sure to up air, land right before the fourth hit, whether it's naturally or fast falling, and make sure to buffer the smash attack as soon as you land. A great way to force a tip or down tilt scenario will be fairing somebody's shield and then down tilting immediately after as they try to retaliate, as if they're shielding they won't really be DIing. You can also react to DI, you'll be able to get it. Needles are one of Sheik's better combo tools, however they're probably the hardest to use. The main thing about needles is you want to land with them, so that way your landing lag isn't that big in this game. So you can line with them into pretty much any grounded move. Higher percent you can do a lot more like freestyle, but lower percent is limited to tilt, grab, jab, dash tag. But of course you can combo off of those moves, and that's the beauty of needles as a combo tool. Now the big thing I want you to remember about Sheik is experiment. Experience what it's like to play Sheik, as her combos are some of the most build-to-bear combos in the whole game. You can do so many moves in so many places, and it's really up to your style, you know? But when you start putting everything together, you'll get combos that look like this. Now this next section is going to be a lot more organized, which you too could be if you checked out Squarespace. Squarespace, you know, they're the leader in web design, and they can make either your store, your portfolio, your website just get that little bit more of a professional look, which is what we're both aiming for when it comes to learning Sheik. Now, landing needles can combo into a lot when you get your opponent to higher percent, including up smash, sometimes forward smash, bouncing fish is a really reliable one, back air is really good, and even some swag stuff like up air drag down into a smash attack or even more. When it comes to killing a little more horizontally off stage, that's where you get all of your needle setups, which generally comes from rising needles to bouncing fish. You can do this either off full hop, double jump, or a short hop off stage, but rising needles to bouncing fish is your bread and butter for trying to kill people off the side. You can even use this as a ledge trap option. The more common option to kill people with a bouncing fish setup will be weak nair or strong nair into bouncing fish near the ledge. Going more into cross-up up air stuff, we'll have F-tilt into up air. Now you saw how Lucina went straight up? That's because I crossed up her DI. Had she had normal DI, she would have lived F-tilt up air. When it comes to doing a cross-up up air, essentially what you want to do is jump straight up on your double jump, and right before the fourth hit, you want to move in the direction that you want to try to force your opponent to DI wrong. If you move backwards, you want them to DI inwards, and if you move forward, you want them to DI outwards. If you let your opponent DI the up air correctly, they can live as long as 10% later, so make sure you get really good at practicing this cross-up up air. Down air to up smash. Now down air works best as a parry bait tool, as it leaves your opponent not really DIing anywhere since they're shielding, and it mixes up your attack timing really well. The amount of things you can get out of dare is pretty insane, as you can get up smash, you can get drag down up air into a smash attack, you can even just get normal up air at later percents. It's a really good combo to kill, and it's something you should learn.